because of the 20th anniversary of Mortal Kombat, I just wanted to do a quick video on my thoughts about the game, my past, how it molded the way I play games, how I view games, and basically my experience with Mortal Kombat. So, here we go. Mortal Kombat, it's one of the games that really had an impact on myself as a gamer in general. I still remember playing Mortal Kombat in the arcades, and my first experience with the game, I was actually playing tennis, and during a break, two guys were talking about, hey, yeah, who's your favorite? My favorite's Scorpion, my favorite's Sub-Zero, and I was like, what's a Scorpion and what's a Sub-Zero? You know, back then I was really into Street Fighter, and I had no idea what Mortal Kombat was. When I saw it, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like I'm pretty sure many of you out there felt the same way when you're seeing blood, you're seeing fatalities. You know, you couldn't really believe that you were seeing this in a video game. So it was definitely mind-blowing. And you know, I have a friend who used to like the game and doesn't anymore, and he says Mortal Kombat is just violence for violence sake. And I think the violence really put the emphasis on the series, that what made it big. But one of the major things about Mortal Kombat, which I really love, is the fan interaction. Mortal Kombat, I think, is one of the only franchises that really takes into account what the fans want, what the fans say, and secrets and things like that, to kind of make it a whole new experience of gaming. And I'll give you some examples about that. The first one, starting with the first game, with Mortal Kombat 1, the reptile. I mean, when you hear it, it's secret enough so that a lot of people, especially quote-unquote veterans of the game, wouldn't have known about it, or if you heard about it, wouldn't really believe it. But it was easy enough to do that, you know, someone who was fairly good at the game could just run into it by accident and then tell everyone else. And it was just one of those things that anyone who's a fan of the game since back then, I'm sure, remembers the conversations about hearing about Reptile or seeing Reptile. You know, you couldn't really believe it. It's just something really funny. And I'm pretty sure you guys all remember the conversation that you had with someone who saw Reptile and was telling everyone else about Reptile, and some people believed the person, some people didn't. You know, the conversation was really funny. I can remember it clear as day, where someone was like, hey, the other day I was playing Mortal Kombat and there's another character.
Oh, really? What other character?
Well, it's another ninja and he's green.
Okay, why isn't he on the select screen, or how do you get him?
You can't get him, you can only play against him.
Okay, how?
Well, when you're on the pit, he's at the bottom of the pit, and that's where you fight him.
At the bottom of the pit, with all the spikes there?
Well, some of the spikes are moved away. And he's green, so that's yellow and blue. He has Scorpions and Sub-Zero's moves. And it was a conversation that it was believable enough that some people would ask, oh, really? You know, well, how'd you do it, or where'd you see it? And it was far-fetched enough so that some of the people who were veterans of the game, they'd be like, no, that's not true, that's bull, or whatever. I've played the game a million times, I've never seen a third ninja, a green ninja, or anything like that. And then when it happens to them, it just blows your mind when you actually see it. Like, you know, that kid was right about Reptile. So I mean, some of that stuff, that culture that Mortal Kombat did with some of their secrets, is something that you know, can't really be duplicated because of the age we're in now with the internet and all the secrets being out there right away. But back then, it was just really a great experience and a great time for video gaming. Another really good example of this is when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, and Liu Kang's fatality, the dragon, where he turned into the dragon and ate the victim. It was such a big hit. Everybody loved it at the arcades and stuff like that. And then I don't remember exactly how the story goes, but according to what I understand, somebody was saying, yeah, there's a way that everyone can turn into an animal and kill the other person, and either everyone can do it in Mortal Kombat 2, or they're working on the next game, or he started a rumor, he or she, most likely he, started a rumor about turning into an animal, and it's called animality. And again, some people are like, "Oh, really? Well, how do you do that?" And other people are like, "Nah, that's just folklore or whatever." And then Midway, who was doing the game at the time, they got wind of it and they said, "You know what? That sounds like a good idea. Let's do it." And then in Mortal Kombat 3, everyone, there we go. We had animalities, and then you could see, Mortal Kombat really made the boy who cried wolf validated, because you could see him. I told you, Mortal. There's the animalities, and they, like I said, they just really knew how to form the culture and make those unbelievable stories come true, which was really really cool about Mortal Kombat. They're so into the fan interaction and what rumors and stuff like that. I think they take into canon almost too much. And I'm looking at you, Mortal Kombat movie, because in the movie they made Raiden. In the original Mortal Kombat 1, Raiden was a god who this tournament was so important, and it had so much prestige that a god wanted to participate in the tournament, and he gave up his mortality to be able to fight in the tournament, because it was Mortal Kombat. You had to be mortal to compete in the tournament, and so he gave up his mortality just to be able to compete in this tournament. In the movie, they made him the ruler of Earthrealm, and he doesn't fight in Mortal Kombat unless challenged. And then the Midway, actually, or now NetherRealm, if you played the new game, they actually made that canon. They made it so that Raiden, he's a god, and he doesn't fight in Mortal Kombat at all. He just watches over our heroes or whatever. So they sometimes take a little bit too much into canon, but that's I mean, maybe in a future video I can go more in depth about my feelings about Mortal Kombat, the current game. Another thing why they're so great about fan interaction, Angry Joe, the Angry Joe Show, did a really good video ranting about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and how in the new update in Ultimate, you get the stages, you get the characters, and you also get the new balancing system. And he argued, well, why couldn't we just choose the characters we want and not download the ones we don't? And the balancing, NetherRealm has been doing that with Mortal Kombat behind the scenes for free the entire time. And that, that's exactly with the new MK9, that's exactly what they did. They had the characters in packs. You can choose who you want, who you don't want. They did all the rebalancing as updates for free, and regardless of what another version, what version another person has, you could still play them. There was no MVC3, Ultimate MVC3 clash. So Mortal Kombat was really, really, and they still are really player devoted. So one of my favorite games. If you want to play me on Xbox Live, my gamer tag is Shinfits, and thanks a lot for watching.